I don't know if anybody in the history of the fight game has come back here, 3+ year layoff and looked as good as he did tonight. Very impressive, and you know, he pumped some excitement into UFC Korea. Ari and I have been talking about going to Korea, so I think tonight he sealed the deal. Let me tell you what, Dennis Bermudez is as nasty a fighter as you will ever face, and he came in tonight with all the advantage, and the zombie, you know, he performed again. This guy is a phenomenal athlete. He's a great fighter, and man, is he a finisher.
Police! Little Bulldog!
I would love to fight at heavyweight. You just, those guys are big. They're such big guys. And then you got my boy Francis, who just went out there and knocked out Arlovsky. I'm like, and I've trained with Francis. I'm like, if I go up to heavyweight, I have to compete against him. And you have guys like Mark Hunt and Fabricio Verdum and just Travis Brown and Stipe. I mean, there are a lot of men in that weight class. They're not little boys. They're men.
Derek Lewis on the other day.
Yeah, Derek Lewis, and he hits. So, you know, I'm like, it's a challenge. So I'm definitely up for the challenge.
Anderson lost to Michael Bisping, a close fight. He actually knocked him out with a knee, and it was kind of a little controversial with that. He broke his leg in one fight. He dropped his hands, you know, which he typically do. But even in that fight, like, I always watch Anderson Silva, and I always like his fighting style. But even when he fought Chris Weidman the first time, I was like, really? Like, when is this fight going to get started? Like, you know, he kind of kept his hands down, toying with him. Just, I guess he wasn't really intimidated by Chris Weidman's speed, and then Chris Weidman caught him with, you know, a crazy combination. So, you know, me looking at the situation, I throw all those losses out. You know, I'm looking at, you know, I'm fighting a guy who, you know, not as fast as he used to be, but this guy has all the skills in the world, you know, and considered the best fighter of all time. So whereas everybody else looking at like losses, I mean, how did he lose? Those fights were all close, like, you know, and then it was unfortunate events in those fights. So I think I'm getting a very gamed and ready fighter.
I guess I don't really feel like I broke her, but I do know that coming off of the knockout, when I knocked her out, yes, that helped the fight with Nunes go faster, if that makes any sense. I don't mean that in any rude way, but if her and Nunes fought before Ronda and I fought, I do feel like that fight would have gone longer than it did. I really do, and I don't think anybody would argue with me on that. And I knew that going into that fight, everybody asked me if I thought Ronda was going to win or not, and I said, you know what? I don't know who's going to win. However, I'll be able to tell you who's going to win in the first few punches of that fight. Because when I watch this fight, those first few punches Ronda gets hit with, she's either going to say, oh, hell no, not again, or she's going to think, oh, hell no, is this happening again? There's two minds that you can go to.
really got the feeling for someone who lost something in their life that they legitimately missed. He dreaded being away. He's watched other friends of his become stars. And for him, knowing he couldn't be competing at the elite level, he just wants to get back. He wants to get back to that top 5 so bad right now.
And that's, of course, where he was the last time he was in the octagon. That was August of 2013, the championship fight against Jose Aldo. Amazing to think that that main event against Dustin Poirier in Virginia, Shaquille O'Neal, by the way, center court. Amazing to think that that went over